Phil, happy preseason, happy New Year. David Ajala's departure has left the central midfield room a little bit depleted. Just how has Joao Ortiz in his second season coming back? How has he looked in preseason so far?
Well, I think you the centre midfield player is probably our weakest area at this moment in time, and so it's an incredible opportunity for Joao. And what I did in the off season, I look back at all our games, and there's a lot of games where we brought Joao off the field that, looking back in retrospect, that we probably should have left him on. I was probably a little bit too eager to probably rotate in that position. You think about the 4 midfield players we had last season. We had so much quality on the bench that we felt, 60, 65 minutes, that, the freshness in there to help with the adaptation. But there was times, New England at home, Red Bulls at home, I think Houston away, where he was playing really well, and we probably shouldn't have rotated in that position. So I think this is a big pre-season for Joao Ortiz. I think when you talk about somebody coming from Ecuador, there has to be that leeway for adaptation, but he's here now. His family are really settled. His wife's about to give birth to a new child, and he's going to be a big part of what we're building in pre-season. At this moment in time, we've got him and Diego, and you saw how Diego came in the end of the season, was probably one of our best players, and we went through the training, the medical processes, the fitness testing last weekend. And you've got to say that Diego Chara is one of our fittest players still, and it's an incredible example to the rest of the team about how you look after yourself. I actually don't see a number in the week's training that we've had. I don't see an age. I see someone that's in there that everybody in my office, in this building, in the whole football club should be still looking at Diego Chara no different than what they looked at him 5 years ago. And I think if anyone does do that, then it's disrespectful to the guy that's come back into training, less body fat, fitter than what he was last season, more strength in his legs, and still the first one out on the field.
Hey, Phil. Happy New Year.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It feels early. Ned had mentioned that, we've brought in some backline players, but that he is organizing the team based on the style that you want to play, kind of that front foot forward. So I'm curious as what your kind of wish list or what you are asking for in the few positions we have left to fill. What is it that you're looking for? Yeah, well,
I think... I don't think you can hide away from sort of like some of the feedback from the Timbers fans. I think everybody's anxious to get new players in. You look around the league and other teams investing or bringing money, bringing players in, provides that when's that going to happen for us? And what I would say is in the off season we've worked tirelessly on the targets that we want. Brandon Bai coming in is a brilliant signing. We've felt in that position for the last 2 seasons really that we need an extra little bit of a man. Competition for Juan Mosquera and depth in that position. I think we've got that now with Eric Miller, with Sawyer Jura, and with Brandon Bai, who I've known for a long time. Alex Bonatic coming in, I think is going to be a brilliant signing for us. I think he's someone is a part of the world that not many teams probably are scouting probably as well as us. We brought Finn from that league. There is an incredible amount of talent in that league now, and from the conversations and the scouting we've done on Alex, then we expect the same level of expectation that we did with Finn. He's obviously not with us yet, so we can't wait to get him in. And then what I keep thinking, and what people must remember is that we've got 2 or 3 academy players that in pre-season are going to get the opportunity to become starters. And I think since I've come to this football club, I think it's been really apparent that I believe in young players. And when people look at the central midfield position and say, whoa, we're a little bit light in there, in my mind, yes, we're a little bit light of experience, but we've got a couple of young midfield players that I think can be really special players. And I think with young players, what you've got to do, you've got to believe in them, you've got to trust them, but more importantly, you've got to give them opportunities. And I think in this pre-season, there's going to be 2 or 3 academy players that are going to be getting starting positions in the group. And I say that that's probably been a big thing that's been missing from this football club, maybe, that that conveyor belt of young players coming through. And I'm a manager that believes in young players. I think they never ever let you down. And I look back at Anthony, Kelsey, Ayala, Mosquera, Santi, Nunes, Santos got their experiences last year. These are players that are incredible assets for the club. Finn Sermon's another one. Young player, get in, give him a chance, and you've got to believe in them. So we think that we're really lucky, and these players now have to produce. And yes, we need 2 or 3 players, but we're not as far away as what people think. We're close to 2 or 3 things that over the next 10 days I expect to be pulled off. And I think once we pull those things off, I think, like I say, it's not like last season where I felt there was a big transition in the club. There's no transition this year. You know, it's not a revolution, it's an evolution of what we've got. We've lost Paredes, we've lost Ayala, we've lost Zuparic, 3 really important players for us. We're just going to slip. We're going to be hopefully seamlessly just dropping 3 players in there to replace.
At the end of last season, Christopher Velda talked about wanting to kind of like raise the standard and kind of like the intensity level in the locker room and training and the weight room. Yeah. And I'm just curious. Obviously, you guys haven't had a ton of time since everyone's come back, but what sort of kind of mentality have you seen out of him in the few days back so far?
Yeah, I saw those comments and loved those comments. And what I would say is that going back to my playing career, the players have to drive the intensity. It's up to Christoph now. He's been at the club for 3-4 months. We absolutely love him. I think everybody in Portland loves this player. He now has to grab hold of the club and go and take us to a championship. That's what DPs have to do in this league. And I think what I've seen from Christopher Velda is that he's got the personality to do that. Maybe in the past we've not had that for a while, since the Valeri days. We've not probably had a DP that's gone, right, this is my club, this is my stage, I'm going to take us to a championship. And, you know, and put your name in the rafters. So I love the comments from Christoph. I think now you put alongside there David da Costa, who's going to miss probably the first maybe few weeks of the season. But the DP players have to grab hold of that dressing room. The senior players, the players have to grab hold of the dressing room and go out there and perform and be intense. You know, it's got to become from within. And we've got Christoph now that's willing to do that from in the dressing room. That then you put in the likes of Finn Sermon around there now. He's got a big leadership role this season. Massive in terms of his second season. You've got to grab hold of it, and what I've seen in the first 3 days is the intensity. It's been different than last pre-season, different than my first season here. The intensity in the group has gone up, and that gives me great feeling.
Alex?
Hi, Phil. Thinking back, good, how are you?
Good.
Thinking back to last season and results, I feel like a lot of the stuff that we talked about was finding a consistency from game to game. At exit interviews, I asked Diego Chara about that and how much a defined or consistent starting 11 from week to week would impact that, and he said it would be massive. As obviously injuries and suspensions play a part in that week to week, but is that something that you're looking at as more of a goal this year, to have a defined starting 11?
Yeah, I think. Well, if you look at the season as a whole, we have 2 seasons within one season. We have 14 games, and then we have another 20 games after that. So it's almost like a sprint season. It's all like 2 sprint seasons. So what I said to the staff on day 1 and on the players when they came back is that in the first 14 games, there's no need to rest. 1 game a week for 14 games, off the back of maybe 8 weeks off. There's no days off. You know, you're not talking about a marathon this season. This season isn't a marathon. This season is like an 800-meter run, and then there's probably a 1,500-meter run in the second half of the season. So for 14 games, we're playing Saturday or Saturday, Sunday. So football's changed when you're playing 3 games a week over a marathon season. You've got 5 substitutions to put on. When I first broke into the team, there was you could only put 1 sub on, or 2 subs. You had 3 players sat on the bench where there was no rotations. Now you've got 9 players on the bench and 5 substitutions, which means that the starting 11 is almost only there for 60 minutes, and then there's another 11 that comes on. So 14 games, consistency in selection, consistency in system means that, and you'll see that from every other team, because, and maybe apart from the Champions League teams that are playing earlier part of the season, rest, recover, I said to the guys, we've got an 18-day compulsory rest in May, where I'm going to Florida or wherever my family are. Is that so? From now to then, we're sleeping in this building till May, because then we get another 52 days without football. So I'd say that this season is going to be different. When you're looking at last season, when it was a complete marathon, you then have to manage time, minutes, recoveries, players. But I think this season that ultimately is a big change.
Any more questions in English? Okay, well, that's in English and what's your Spanish?
Just going into California, anything specifically you're looking for, or just getting the team going, but specific on the field?
Yeah, I love going into camp, I've got to say. This first week, my wife's going to hate me for this, but I hate this first week because I've got to go home. You know, I want to sleep at this building, you know, and she knows it, you know, because it's pre-season. You're in that focus zone mode of just thinking only about the team, the systems, the recruitment, the players you're bringing in, everything that goes with it. So I think it's getting the team together from a cultural point of view, making sure we build partnerships, bonds when Bonatic comes in, by and Bonatic, obviously new signings, they have to integrate. You know, you have the younger players integrating. You can train double sessions. You can really get into. For a manager, probably the pre-season is the best part of the season because there's no games at the end of it. You can really get close to the players. You can find out everything about their lives, their careers, their ambitions. And then when the season starts, you're into result mode. And so for me, the two California trips there's the cultural bit of the first one, and then you're into the games program in Coachella where you have to really accumulate minutes and get some real team cohesion.
¿Qué tal, profe? ¿Cómo estamos? Bienvenido. Feliz año nuevo.
Gracias.
Josué del Castillo de la Grande Radio en español. 2 preguntas. Es un año complicado para el fútbol. Está el Mundial, hay Leagues Cup, está el torneo. ¿Cómo está preparado Portland Timbers para enfrentar todo este año futbolístico? Y médicamente, físicamente, ¿cómo está el equipo? Chará, Jonathan Rodríguez.
Yo dije, es una temporada diferente este año en esta liga porque la Copa Mundial es entre dos escenarios, 14 partidos antes y 20 partidos después, más Leagues Cup en otras competiciones como, por ejemplo, los playoffs. Entonces es 20 partidos más que los partidos en Leagues Cup y también, ojalá, los partidos en los playoffs. Entonces, el primero es muy tranquilo, 14 partidos, un partido cada semana y después la Copa Mundial es muy exigente, es muchos partidos, es donde los equipos, yo creo que tenemos que preparar por este tiempo. Jonathan Rodríguez en este momento está en su país para su rehabilitación y recuperar, pero el pasillo para Jonah es muy largo, pero en este momento, cada día, poco a poco, se levanta muy bueno cada día, pero no es días, no es semanas, es meses hasta Jonah vuelve aquí. Chara es fenomenal. Es una máquina, no es para mí, ¿cómo se dice? Human. No es human para mí, no, es una... is a robot, is a machine, is una persona fenomenal. Él tiene 14 años, pero cada día es el primero en esta división. En el campo, siempre el primero. Hoy, por ejemplo, ¿dónde está Chara? Chara quiere en el campo. No, Chara, tranquilo en la restaurante. No, jefe. Entonces, es una persona fenomenal, es un jugador fenomenal. Y para mí es muy importante para el equipo. Oh, my friend.
Eso es bien fácil. 2 preguntas en una.
2 preguntas más.
Sí, primero, ¿qué piensa de van a traer al jugador a Javairo que juega con el América y cuándo llegaría? Y me gustaría, ¿sí sabes de quién hablo?
Javairo. ¿Quién es Javairo?
Fue jugador del América, jugaba con América y con...
No conoces, no conozco.
Sí, lo conoce. Y sí es posible que venga al equipo y también, de la salida de Ayala. ¿Cómo siente usted que el equipo perdió ese gran jugador?
Es En el tema de los fichajes, necesitamos 3 fichajes. La posición más importante para mí es en el centrocampista. En este momento con João, con Diego, solo 2 centrocampistas. Necesitamos 4 en esta posición, pero tenemos 1 y 2 centrocampistas en la academia, muy bueno para mí en esta temporada, esta pretemporada. Ellos, Eric Aizoita, Van Voice, Adolfo Enríquez, para tener oportunidades para competir, ¿entiendes? Entonces, necesitamos 3 fichajes. El centrocampista es para mí centro de mi mentalidad. Y otros jugadores que si una oportunidad para mejorar una posición, un delantero, un extremo o lateral, sí, nuestro club, nuestro dueño está muy ambicioso. Entonces,
¿Puede ser posible?
sí, posible para todo. Y Ayala, los aficionados, el dueño, Ned y yo, los jugadores en este club, a mí es mi segundo hijo, porque es un luchador, pero después la temporada, la pasada temporada, Ned, yo y Ayala reunamos y es muy claro, si Ayala no quiso estar en este club, él quiere ese, ¿entiendes? Entonces, Ned necesita encontrar una solución para beneficiar los Ayala y nosotros. Es una situación. Tuvimos con Santi, con Evander también, tuvimos con Ayala. Pero es importante para decir, Ayala quiso explorar otras oportunidades. Y la verdad es, para mí, yo no quiero un jugador en este club si no quiero ser en este club. Es la verdad.